Hello, I'm Eric Folks, Instructional Technology Coordinator for Lampasas ISD, and today we're going to talk about how you can use Google Docs to post an interactive lesson plan for your students so they have access to any of the resources that you hand out in class or online resources that you'd like to direct them to. First, why use Google Docs instead of just copying and pasting from Microsoft Word? Well, oftentimes, in addition to some of the formatting errors that you get when you try to copy and paste into School World teacher sites, you get a scary little warning like this. This is an indication that you've got too much information you're trying to copy and paste straight into the School World teacher site. So, if you want to avoid this, and have the freedom of posting, 3 weeks, 6 weeks, a semester, or the whole year at a time and just editing it, there are two options for you. One option is to use Dropbox, and we have posted a good informational on this on the Tech for Folks website called LISD Secondary Teachers, a Better Way to Post Lesson Plans. There's a good video right there on how you can post to your School World teacher site using Dropbox. There's one advantage that Google Docs gives you over using Dropbox. When you use this method with Dropbox, if you make a change to your lesson plan, you have to make sure that you make that change in Microsoft Word and you upload the same file with the same name back to Dropbox so that the most current version of your lesson plan is reflected when students click on a link from your website. So there is that one extra step. With Google Docs, once you publish your lesson plans, if you make a change to it, it automatically publishes every 5 minutes. So you don't have to worry about that extra step of making sure that you have posted it. But this is certainly something worth considering. It looks really nice, and people who are comfortable with Dropbox have found that this is a great and easy way to post interactive lesson plans without any limit to the number of characters and things like that. So something to consider. All right, let's go ahead and begin. This is just the standard template that they use at the secondary level. I'm going to go ahead and put in a couple different links here so that I can illustrate some of the advantages and limitations of using this technique using a Google Doc. So first thing I'm going to do is put in a link to CNN. So I'm going to select that. I'm going to right click on it and make it a hyperlink. Existing file or web page, we're going to go www.cnn.com and say OK. And so there's my link. And if I hold down Control and follow it, works just fine. Okay. Here is a link to a Discovery Ed video. So I'm going to go to Discovery Education, and I'm going to go to Streaming Plus, ELA. Really, I'm just doing this with any video. It doesn't matter what video you use. All right, so from here I'm going to say share, and I'm going to copy this link to the clipboard and do the same thing. Right click on it, say hyperlink, and right click and paste that in. And if I hold down Control and select it, it's going to prompt me to log in one time. Helps if I can spell. And it takes me straight to that video. Okay, so they function from Microsoft Word. So now I'm going to save this as just to my desktop. I'm just going to save this Word document. Okay, this is the one with my lesson plans. So now I go into my Google Docs, Google Drive in this case, and I'm going to say I want to create a document. Actually, instead of creating a document, I'm going to upload a file. So here's our Word document. Now, I've got my upload settings to ask me every single time if I want to convert it to a Google Doc. In this case, I do want to convert it to a Google Doc. I recommend leaving that confirm settings before each upload just so that you can determine if you want it to just save it as a Microsoft Word document, or if you want some of the interactive functionality of a Google Doc, then you want to go ahead and convert it. But I decide that every time I upload something. Okay, so it has been uploaded and converted. So if I click on it, first thing I want you to notice, if I click on it right here, here's my link to my website. Worked just fine. Okay. All right, so at this point, we've got a Google Doc uploaded, and we've got some interactive links that we put in through Microsoft Office, like we put them in while we were creating it in Microsoft Word. Okay, so at this point, what we're going to do is we are going to publish this document to the web. Now, you'll notice why publish it to the web. Well, you'll notice that you can share a Google Doc if you want very easily by just clicking share and saying that you want to change it to anybody with the link can view it. And then you're given a nice convenient little URL up here that you can copy and paste onto your website or whatever. But they're going to see, to some degree, a whole bunch of stuff up at the top, and it's not nearly as clean and as finished as if you publish it and then post the published version. So, plus, once you publish it, anytime you make changes, those changes will automatically be reflected too. So I'm going to say publish to the web, leave that check mark, automatically republish when changes are made. Yes, I do want to publish it, and here is my document link. So I'm going to use the actual link rather than the embed code. So I'm going to right click on that and copy it. And I close it. So now if I go to a new tab and I right click and paste that in to see what it looks like, you can see here is the published version of my Google Doc. I don't have all the formatting across the top, all the annotations and editing options and things like that. So this is the way it looks. And if I click on these links, my link seems to be working just fine as well. Okay, so I recommend that you double check your links every time you put them in. In fact, you may want to put your links in at this point. Once you have uploaded it in to Google Drive and converted it to a Google Doc, you might want to put in your links here. So link to, call this box.com. Because sometimes I've noticed that when you put in your links in the Microsoft Word version and upload it to Google Docs and convert it to a Google Doc, those links don't function quite as well as if you had put in the link right there after you have converted it to a Google Doc. So if I just highlight box, and make it a link, and it republishes every 5 minutes, but I'm going to just say publish to the web again, just so I can hopefully get it to reflect those changes right away. And I'm going to go back over to my published version, refresh it, and there's the changes that I've made, and here's my link to Box, and it's working just fine too. So again, the advantages to using a Google Doc for your lesson plan is that in addition to having all these interactive links, just like you can with Dropbox, when you need to make a change to your lesson plan, all you do is you go into your Google Doc and you make those changes. And it automatically saves and you close it out. And then as it republishes your changes, which happens, as I said, automatically every 5 minutes, maybe even faster. We'll see how long it takes. As you make changes, it automatically publishes those, so you don't have to worry about uploading that same file with the same file name to Dropbox so that you can overwrite the old with the new version, which may have those corrections or additions to the lesson plan. So I'm just reloading here so that we can see how long it takes for those changes to be reflected. Again, it's supposed to take 5 minutes. I'm hoping it doesn't take 5 minutes for our video. And while this is refreshing, let's see how we take that Google Doc and put the link on our website. So I go into it and I go File, Publish to the Web. I take that link, and just a second ago I just pasted it into a new tab. But what we want to do is go to the website and sign in to our School World teacher site. And we're going to add a subpage. And title it lesson plans or whatever you want to. And now, instead of having to try to paste in for Microsoft Word, we just say, here's a link to my lesson plan for 2013, 2014, or whatever. And I just highlight the word, select create hyperlink, backspace over that so that we don't have any duplications of the www, and then I can right click and paste in the link that I got from my published Google Doc. And I say OK and save, and I'm going to view that page, see what it looks like. Probably would want to space it out and center it a little bit, easy to do. So now I click on it, and here is my lesson plan. And the published version is now showing the addition that I put on there, the make those changes. I'll click on it one more time. And now you can see the additional changes that I made. Again, the nice thing about using Google Docs and Drive is once you start publishing it, you just make the changes and it automatically saves and it automatically publishes those changes. It may take 5 minutes or so for those changes to be pushed out, but you don't ever have to go back into your teacher site and adjust this link, because the link to your lesson plan stays the same even as your lesson plans evolve and change over time. Okay, I hope that was helpful and useful, and I'm very confident that many of you will find using Google Docs and Drive for posting your lesson plans to be very powerful and a great time saver. And by creating interactive lesson plans, you can include links to files that you put in Dropbox or in Google Drive or Discovery Education videos, so that instead of just seeing what we did in class that day, we can actually have students clicking on links to copies of the handouts that you may have scanned in and stored in Dropbox or Google Drive, or actually clicking on a link that'll take them to the video that the other students saw in class that day, so that you've got the option for kids who are absent or kids who just need extra help and extra time, or parents that would like to review some of the things that are happening in class so they can follow up with their children. Can do that from home and from your interactive lesson plan. Hope this was helpful, and contact me or Lori Ramsey if you have any questions on how to do this. Thank you for your time.